What a ketogenic diet is it's really not about carbohydrate. The definition of a ketogenic diet is any diet that lowers insulin levels to the fat burning point. So that if your insulin, you can't burn fat if your insulin levels are too high. And most people are walking around with insulin levels that are high 24 hours a day. They
Yeah.
don't even come down overnight because people are just eating too much, too frequently, and the wrong foods. To get into ketosis or generate ketones, you need to lower your insulin levels to the fat burning point. And when you and if you're burning fat vigorously, the liver will turn some of that fat, chop that fat into ketones, which are very small fragments of ready to burn fat. And these cross easily into the brain and can be burned for energy, and they can bridge any energy gaps that may be there, which many of us have.
If these people had done the Mediterranean diet, would they have seen the same consequences?
The Mediterranean, oh, sorry,
Because I
please.
imagine they were probably on the Western diet, that like the American diet, which is ultra processed, high sugar. So bringing them into a controlled environment and just depriving them of that would have surely caused just that on its own would have been beneficial.
Yes. So I wrote in the paper, I mentioned this, you're making a really excellent point, and I addressed this in the paper, is that because when you change from a standard junky modern diet to a ketogenic diet that's whole foods, you're changing a lot of variables, right?
Mhm.
So how do we know that it had anything to do with the ketones, right? And this is a good question and a fair question, and we don't know the answer, but new studies are helping us to understand that. But before we get to that, I just wanted to say the point you're making is so important because there are lots of ways to lower your insulin levels. So you can lower your insulin levels through fasting,
Yeah.
intermittent fasting.